for that as well. But you know what doesn't really make sense, and it is the Light Phone 3, guys. This is the Light Phone 3. Uh, and you know what? Light is playing all the games, and I'm a huge critic of them. It does look like a pretty neat device. It does have more buttons than my phone, so congratulations to Light for that one as well. But I'm a huge critic of this company. Like, I mean, look at these prices: $799 for this, a phone that would not pass, that would not fly in 2007. They'd be like, "Bro, we have the Nokia N95 here." Like, maybe if you're upgrading from pretending, just assuming that you're going to be in the year of our Lord 2007, if upgrading from like a flip phone or something like that, maybe. But no, no. Okay, this light phone, or any light phone for that matter, it's just I mean, light phone is probably one of the greatest legal con companies of all time. They release a phone that purposely has zero features, and then they have this Light Phone 3, and we're going to get into the features they have here that still has the same feature set as a smartphone from 2007. So now they can go around and be like, "Hey guys, look, we added some more features," and they technically be right, and they'll never run out of ideas. And never going to run out of model ideas. Like when you go between the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra and S25 Ultra, oh well, it's lighter and has a slightly different chip, and that's what the selling point is going to have to be, right? Like, yeah, but I mean, Light Phone can be like, this phone has a camera and our last phone didn't. Right, so they can just essentially just retcon the last 10 years of smartphone achievement, pretending that we're in 2017, so more like the last 15 years of smartphone achievement. And when they're on the Light Phone 36, they can catch up to Samsung Galaxy S24. Nonetheless, I mean, they are playing every single game. So we're going to get to the specifications here, but let me see if I can read the thing. Wait, where is it? I was reading the website yesterday when I was preparing for this segment, right? They have this whole nice, kind of minimalist, aesthetic little website, black and white here going on. So here we go. A tool for a better life. Introducing the Light Phone 3. A tool designed to give you the flourish as a thoughtful, intentional version of yourself. So we're just going to count the amount of games they're playing here. Thoughtful and intentional version of yourself. All right, game number 1. They're playing the digital minimalism thing here. That's, again, a trend on Instagram, which this phone doesn't have. So yeah, no one's actually minimalistic, for the fun of it. Okay, no one's going around, hey guys, look, I'm rich, but I actually like to live my life in black and white and have no color and on my screen. Like, not even a metaphor. Like, I actually like to live my life in black and white. If they had glasses that I could only see in black and white, I like that. I'm a minimalist. Of course, I have this like weird looking house, but it has nothing in it. It has an open floor plan for the friends I don't have to come over. Nonetheless, all right, so they're playing the minimalism trend game. All right, that's game number 1. All right, game number 2. We know how difficult it can be go against the grain of society that seems ready to made to distract you. That's why we created Light Phone 3. All right, game number 2. It's the hey guys, society bad game. Yeah, it's kind of like when you're in youth church and like, hey kids, aren't you ready to do something with Jesus? We want you to fast for 30 days to get off of social media, yada, yada, yada. All right. Game number 3, digital detox. It's a huge trend online. Kind of weird, but it's like the entire trend of people who hate the internet yelling and crying about it on the internet. And you're saying, oh, you want to pay more attention to your toddler or you're buying your very first phone. It's maybe they're trying to like sell these to kids, which is kind of stupid because the phone worth $600, and it's trash. It's absolute garbage. All right, and here's your phone here. Oh, yes, and game number 4. It's not explicitly stated here, but they're playing to the e-ink community game. The e-ink community is small in numbers, but they are mighty. So, people love e-ink. So that's game number 4 here. We future-proof this phone so that we can provide meaningful software updates, blah, 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 blah. And they go in and talk about how they hate, what's it called? Obsolescence, planned obsolescence, right? Except the thing is, like, this phone is 3 inches, and, like, you're going to get tired of it in a year, so obviously it's going to be, like, planned obsolescence. Also, they have to, like, kind of trickle down the features in here. Like, maybe the next year, they'll be like, hey, we added some video recording features to the phone. They cannot add too many features to the phone because then people are just going to buy it. And then, of course, since they're catering to this niche, especially the planned obsolescence niche, the digital minimalism niche, they're going to be like, oh, well, I don't need to buy anything new. So then they'll come in screwed and they'll go under. All right. Anyway, yep. That's was that game number 4, game number 5. Anyway, here goes the camera part. I almost forgot about that. They added their own camera, and of course, they are going back to nostalgia. Game number 5 or 6. I'll go back and add everything and count the amount of games that they're doing here, taking inspiration from their favorite point and shoot cameras, and they try to pass this off as with center focus and a fixed focal length. Yeah, guys, no autofocus is a feature now. Yes, you know that trash digital camera you had back in 2003. It is now on this phone. And you will thank them for it because memories, Now, give credit where credit is due. This phone does have a metal frame, which is nice. Some people like that. It's like an actual feature. USB-C, fingerprint, flashlight, 5G, and an NFC chip, which I was all for fingerprint scanners on phones. As you guys know, like my interest in technology was always, like you can't ever track my interest in like espionage, charting with my interest in technology would be like a perfect 1-to-1 ratio. Like I wanted my first phone to have a fingerprint scanner so I could go around and collect people's fingerprints and then like match them up when I got them from databases. Unfortunately, there are no apps that do that at this time. So yeah. Nonetheless, why does this phone have a fingerprint scanner? Like I said, I'm 1-to-1. I'm all for fingerprint scanners. I'm all for like espionage, which is why I said, oh yeah, guys, I like Pegasus. I like the Israeli spyware. People hated me for that. Anyway, why does this phone have a fingerprint ID? What are you gonna protect? Your text messages from your 3 friends? Okay, it's not like you're getting anything important because the important people are actually using phones from the last decade. Okay, like all this technology here was in the Nokia N95, except for the fingerprint ID and of course 5G, which didn't exist. Also, again, if you're trying to say that your phone has a flashlight and it's on the main page of the website, yeah, there are no features on this phone at all. Also, what do you think about this two-toned, like, you couldn't keep the same, like, black? You couldn't afford, like, we ran out of paint or something? Like, why does this look kind of green? Maybe it's just the screen, but I mean, maybe they should use a better camera to take a picture of the phone here, which kind of reminds me of, like, an iPod. Why is this thing $600? And they're trying to sell you that as a discount. Okay, it's made to last. Do we really need a new single phone every single year? Can our phones last 5 years, 10 years? I mean, sure, I'm pretty sure it will last. It says planned obsolescence remains an outrage to us. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. It is not an outrage to you. Look, if you guys could actually make a real phone that actually worked and that could, break into the market, you'd actually do that. Okay, but since you couldn't do that, you decided to make 3-inch phones that are now talking about their non-autofocus camera and a flashlight as the big new features of the device. Also, I don't know if the camera takes it in color, but since the screen is e-ink, I think it's only black and white. So, there's that. All right. So I mean, look at this text. I'm trying to text on this thing. Also, I remember when we were reacting to the Light Phone 2 that came out, and I'm doubting the screen technology is any different. Why is there a webcam on this thing? What are you going to do? Video call people in black and white HD? Nonetheless, also on selfies against, the minimalism people. Anyway, like, what is this? Well, let's see what game number 7 is. Oh, also, there's this whole blurb about how people use this as their secondary phone. I'm sorry, if you're sending $600 as a secondary phone, this phone is just made for rich people. Okay, like no one's gonna be giving their kid this phone because like if you're gonna spend $1,000 on the phone, you might as well pay for it, an actual phone. All right, there's a nice speaker grill here for I don't think there's any streaming on here, so you have to go buy your MP3s the old-fashioned way, which. It's kind of harder now than it was back then because now everyone's moved to like Spotify and Apple Music, and of course you can download your stuff on there. All right. Oh yeah, see we have the navigation thing here, which is just like why? Also, look at the bezels on this thing. Bezel. 2017 called. They want their phone back. And then they will turn it back here. Also, they're trying to, that button is going to be used a lot. The talking to the phone button. Because, trying to type on this thing, absolutely, no, not going to work. Yeah, obviously it's running Light OS. It's actually called Android. Okay. And here are the tools that are available. Again, imagine if your phone from this makes sense for 2007 for feature phones, flip phones. In 2025, people are gonna be like, hey guys, my phone has an alarm, a calculator, a calendar. It can even play music, podcasts, timers. If you look at you like what? Also, notice the game that they're playing here again. Alarm and timer are on here twice. Alarm, timer. Yeah, usually that's called clock. I'm actually shocked they didn't put available tools include clock, alarm, timer, world clock. You guys can know what time it is in Israel. You guys can know what time it is in the UK. You guys can know what time it is in India. All while on the same phone that costs $600. Isn't that impressive? Also, then they have the whole, oh guys, it's handcrafted. We pay our employees good wages, and this phone was made with love. Whole thing here, and then once again, the big tech hating thing. Everyone hates big tech except for me. Hey guys, look. Our phones don't have the top, 10 most popular apps. No sir. We are far above. Well, Apple's not really an app, so let's count. We are far above Google. Imagine having Google on your phone, even though we actually use the operating system. But let's forget that. Oh, we're so far above having X. We're so far above having Snapchat, which of any of these apps, Snapchat should not be on your phone, on the light phone, not on your personal phone. Because what are you gonna take a picture of? Oh, guys, look, it's a weird face of me at 3 a.m. in black and white. Hey guys, we got Instagram again. What a useless app that would be on this phone here. And Amazon, which I guess they don't like Amazon because you can exchange goods at a decent price and then you get goods quickly. Capitalism, free trade, blah blah blah. Yes, exactly. It is a toy phone, but with extra steps. He gets it. What was it? How dare you have Amazon in there? Capitalism, free trade. We can't have any of that. No, sir. We want you ordering direct to person. Not even ordering, over the internet. Because, we actually don't want you to use our phone that much. We want you to pay $600 for a phone that's trash, so then you don't use the phone. But you actually keep the phone because, you're digital minimalism, and you actually you hate big tech and you want to stick it to them, whatever. Well, so you're actually going to have to send in your packages via mail, okay? The Pony Express, actually. No Morse code, people. No telegrams, no telegraphs. All right, we're on a mission. Yes, it's always these random, small companies with 3 people working for them. They're always on these, weird missions to come out. Change the world! You're not going to change the world. Honest pricing? Honest, they say. Yes, guys, $800 for a phone that if you introduced it in 2010, they'd be looking at you like, what is wrong with you? Now let's pretend that the phone had 3G instead of 5G, okay? Because 5G technically didn't even exist. Hey guys, look, I have this great phone. I'm going to be selling it for I don't know what inflation would be back then. So let's say $600. Let's say $600 in 2010 and be worth $800 in 2024 or 25, whatever. All right. Hey guys, I have this great phone. It's $600. Black and white touchscreen. So it's like an iPhone, but in black and white. It doesn't have any apps. It only plays, local things, local content. And that's it. How much did you say it cost? Oh yeah, $600. Plus you're gonna have to pay your contract. They would kick you out of there. They'd be like, "Well, who wants to buy a black and white non-iPhone?" If you want a black and white phone, go back to 2002 and get a flip phone from that era. And they do honest pricing. We have no third-party apps that sneakily take your data. All right, yeah, great. Honestly, if this company was honest, they'd be like, we have no third-party apps. That's the honest thing. You can add they take your data. Well, yeah, but they're actually useful. So, yeah, that's the Light Phone 3. They're playing 6 or 7 games here. The one game that they are not playing is the one game that they're not playing is the the photos are in color. All right, so that's great. Anyway, the one game that they're not playing is the eco-friendly game, which I expect the Light Phone 4 to have. That's the one thing that Fairphone has over them. But let's go to the games that they are playing once again. So they're playing the nostalgia game. They're playing the digital minimalism game, just minimalism game at all. They're playing the digital detox game. They're playing the like the availability anti-establishment game. They're playing the e-ink game. They're playing like the weird, they're playing like the photography game too, but not actually that good at photography, but like just the aesthetic. Okay, this whole company is just an aesthetic. But like at their stock price, it's like you have these meme coins, meme tokens. It's just an aesthetic. Like all the hype is just an aesthetic. And then they're playing the anti-big tech game and the anti-we don't sell data game, yada, yada, yada. All right. I was watching an interview for an actual CEO of an actual company of Snapchat here. I was watching him on Diary of a CEO, which is like a YouTube channel. They go around and they interview CEOs